Hey you guys, welcome back to Campfire Story. If you haven't checked out the first video on this one today, it's a true story. If you haven't checked out the first video, it's a psycho came to my home. Check that out. That's going to be part 1 to this. This is an ongoing thing. It's crazy, and it just keeps getting crazier. So make sure to check out that video, and I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. So make sure to watch till the end so you can check that out. It's pretty out there. So essentially the short summary on this, short recap. So this guy broke into my apartment complex yet again, I don't know, but he just got it. So I find out more information on this guy first off. So the guy broke into my apartment complex again, so I'm trying to dig up information on him now. Now I start asking around my area for people that may know. I start asking people that may know anything about him. Now, this guy runs his mouth like there's no tomorrow. It's just that he just makes you just kind of want to, like, he's aggravating. I find out that he recently got out of jail for B&E, so he spent a couple weeks in prison for stoning an old man. That's in the first video. Then I just recently found out he just got out of jail for after spending a weekend in jail. He spent a weekend in jail for B&E. That's breaking and entering. And so that's kind of like, what is going on with this guy? Like, this guy had broken my apartment complex twice. So this time when he broke into my apartment complex, in the previous video, you're really gonna have to want to keep up on that. But I knocked on my neighbor's door that he has previously violated, and just letting him know, like, hey, this guy came back. So this guy saw me knock on his door, and he came as my neighbor was getting dressed because he had, it's a weekend. He was sleeping in, so it wasn't that late anyways. But I knock on his door, and then he comes out, and this guy saw me knock on his door, and he clearly remembered what he did there to that family, and he straight up, this is the family that he was being a peeping Tom on. And so this guy straight up just came down, said to me, why do you go to act like the police? I'm like, and this is like right after I questioned him, like, why are you carrying around a pipe? He had this long pipe. It was a piece of conduit, like metal conduit. And they're doing work on my apartment complex, and I'm thinking he stole that from the construction workers, because that looks like the conduit they use for the outside lights under the balcony. So I'm kind of like, yeah, this guy definitely has been stealing, and so he comes down and asks, why do you got to act like the police? It's like, well, you're breaking into apartments in my apartment complex, and you're carrying around a pipe, swinging it at things. Like, come on. You're swinging a pipe at things. Of course I'm going to question you. Of course I'm going to, and then he threatened me with the pipe. So I'm like, oh man, so this guy just threatened me with the pipe. So of course I'm calling the police. I'm dialing 911. They actually send the police, and the police actually swept the area for him. And prior to the police actually sweeping the area, me and my neighbor actually drove around and looked for the guy. Like, we couldn't find him anywhere. Like, we were already on scene, and this was like seconds after he walked out, he just vanished. And this is kind of how you know that this guy has a criminal history. Is like, he was able to vanish so well, and he just stayed hidden for a while. That's what he did. He laid low for a little bit because he knew he fucked up. This is like, he got to the point where he realized, oh, I fucked up. I'm going to be going back to jail. So in the previous video, I mentioned that he said he's moving in with his daughter. Well, I found out why no one ever really sees his family. Now, he apparently does have a family. I found out a lot of information on him, and apparently his name is not his name is not James either. He lied about his name. So what ultimately it comes down to is his family has a restraining order on him, including both his daughters, which he only mentioned his daughter, not his daughters. No plural there. So that's like some real nut job crap. Like, he thinks there's two landlords, but he thinks he only has one daughter, but he has two daughters, and they have a restraining order on him. So everything he said up to this point, and every time he breaks into the apartment complex, he's straight up lying. He's lying through his teeth. Like, he is lying, and everything that's coming out of his mouth is a lie. Like, we found out that from his actual daughters themselves, like, they actually, I met someone that actually spoke with his daughters, and there's like some serious domestic stuff with him. And it came down to it that he really just had this bad habit of breaking and entering in places. Like, he was a habitual offender. Like, he is an habitual offender. Like, he's been in and out of jail for so long, and his daughters don't want anything to do with him. His wife doesn't want anything to do with him. He's doing drugs. He's lying. He's an impulsive liar. Like, this guy is off his rocker. Not only that, like, he's made aggressive actions towards several people now. So, like, the police are looking for him. Like, the police are definitely looking for him. Like, and not only that, word's gotten up now. This is the crazy part. So several people that I know the Hells Angels. So the Hells Angels are involved at this point. So this is getting like completely out there. So the Hells Angels want a picture of this guy. So next time I see him, I'm actually going to get a picture of him. Because that's going to be sent to the Hells Angels. Because this guy is a peeping Tom. He peeps on children. This guy's off his rocker. He's repeatedly breaking into apartments in my apartment complex. He's made it uncomfortable for people to live here. He's made people afraid to live here. He's coming at people aggressively with a metal pipe now. He apparently not only did that to me, but he did it to someone else as well. And he's apparently driving every single neighbor up to the wall. Every one of my neighbors is basically having confrontations with this guy, and he's just telling people he moved in, he lives here. He's telling people, you have to deal with it, I live here. It's like, you don't live here. Landlord's already confirmed you don't live here. You're breaking and entering right now. You're gonna go back to jail again for breaking and entering. It's like, come on, man. It's like, at a certain point, you gotta wake up, smell the roses, and stop being a habitual offender. Like, I don't know what this guy's deal is. I don't know what kind of a trip he's on. I don't know what he's doing, but it's so stupid. Like, oh my god. Like, first off, you're gonna get, I was kind of hoping he'd hit me with a pipe, but he didn't hit me. And I was pretty much lucky for him, because this guy has pretty much gotten on my very last nerve between keeping me awake when I have work. I had to go to work for I had to pull 10 hours of work prior to getting 5 hours of sleep. I have a crazy work schedule. I have a lot of side hustles. It's a tough time for everyone. And, it comes down to it. This guy is just off his rocker. This guy is this, he kept me up kept me up at 4 a.m. This guy has pretty much, he's peeped in on children and married women, and he's broken into apartments. My landlord's confirmed that he doesn't live here. My landlord says, call the cops if he shows up. He tried to force his way into my home. It's like, if he forces his way into my home, that's how you pretty much get shot right there. It's like, you're forcing your way into my home, with me on the other side of the door. Like, that's, and he's come at me with a pipe at this point. So anything I do at this point is in self-defense. But it's like, Jesus Christ, this guy's like, I have no doubt that the guy's dangerous. There's no doubt in my mind that the guy's dangerous, but it comes down to it, like, this guy is definitely dangerous. Like, this guy is definitely, like, on some stuff. And, priorly, I thought he was going to stone me. Nope, he just came at me with a pipe. Um, and, it's a good question. Why are you walking around smacking things with a metal pipe? That's a good question to have for someone that's in your apartment complex that's not supposed to be there. That's a very good question. And another question I asked, why are you breaking into the apartment complex? He's like, no, I live here. It's like, no, you don't. Landlord's already confirmed you don't live here. You do not live here. You're not a tenant here. You're not a resident. No. You don't freaking live here. So, this guy is just off his rockers. Like, he's on something. And he tried to brag to me that he said, oh, I still have my other studio. And I have a studio here now too. I'm like, why would you, why, is that supposed to impress me that you're claiming you rent two places? That doesn't impress me. That sounds like a very stupid decision, is to rent two apartments at once. Why would you need two apartments? And why would you need two apartments, let alone studio apartments? That's not impressive to me. That sounds like a horrible financial decision and just real stupid planning. This guy doesn't live here, by the way. He's not renting here. He's not a renter here. It's just complete bull crap. Like, everything that comes out of this guy's mouth is a lie. He's in like 1 minute this guy will tell like 20 lies, and these lies, he just doesn't even care. He doesn't plan them out. And it's to a point where I found out, like, the reason you never see him around his daughters is because he's not actually moving in with his daughters. His daughter, he said. He has two daughters, and they both have a restraining order on him. He's not allowed to even contact them, but he's actually he's an habitual offender, that's for sure. And the police actually today were looking for him. And so the police are eager to get him now. So that's fun. And this guy recently went to jail for B&E, so, and if it comes down to it, I'm going to tell the police, like, hey, yeah, I'll speak in court. I can call in. I could call into the court. That's not a problem. I can call in, I'll do that. So, and if I have to call in, like, this guy is definitely a danger to people. He's definitely, like, not someone that's a good person. He's also someone that is physically threatening me with physical harm now with a pipe. He's also peeped on little children. So definitely this guy is not worthy of any, forgiveness. This is like a pervy pedophile freaking situation where he's breaking into apartments repeatedly. And it comes down to it. It's kind of like, what the hell is going on? Because he keeps breaking in, and he keeps breaking into apartments, and my landlord confirmed he doesn't live here. And my landlord confirmed he doesn't live here. And the police were actually looking for him today, and that's, I'm sure, like, once the police actually catch up to him, like, once all that catches up, like, he's definitely, like, going to go to jail for a lot longer than a couple weeks or a weekend. He already has several open cases against him right now, so if he gets another case, there's no way he's getting out of jail until his court date, because every time he gets out of jail, he just commits more crimes. And there's no way in hell that he's getting out of jail after that. My neighbor wants to press charges. I want to press charges. The apartment complex wants to press charges on him. Landlord says charge him. Any tenant in my apartment complex actually has the right to charge a trespasser. And that's actually one of the things my landlord told me is like any tenant can call the police on someone that's not supposed to be there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's good to know. Like my landlord said, call the police on him, have him arrested. You know, this guy is obviously dangerous. Like he's picking up foreign objects and swinging them at people. You know, I just wish he actually hit me with the metal pole. I kind of wish he did because then I'd have free reign to do what I want to him, and that's kind of one of those situations like that's a freaking creep that's spying on little children. It's like yes, that's something I would love to take full advantage of. Is normally I'm not a physical person, but something that makes my blood boil is two things that really makes my blood boil is rapists and pedophiles. That's something that makes my blood real boil. And that's something that this guy's one of those. I don't know if he's the other one, but he's definitely one of them. When you just creep on little children through a window, messing with your shorts and stuff, when you're creeping, definitely you're gonna get your ass whooped. So this guy comes back, it's like, you're getting an ass whooping. And, this guy definitely, like, the Hells Angels want to get their hands on him. That's how bad this guy is. Like, this guy's not a good guy. The Hells Angels want to get their hands on this guy. And that's because some people in my apartment complex are, let's just say, friends with the Hells Angels, with some members of the Hells Angels. So they want to get their hands on this guy. So this guy's going to be basically passed around like a piece of meat, being tenderized pretty much once the Hells Angels get their hands on him. But so this guy's like definitely not stable. Like this guy's aggravating. He runs his mouth. This guy just, oh man. The fact that he came at me with a metal pole, mainly because I was just simply asking questions like, "Hey, landlord already confirmed you don't live here. Leave." Like, "Oh, I rented an apartment here." It's like, yeah, that's not the apartment you said you lived in last time. But guess what? Someone does live in that apartment now. The one that you were actually in. The one that you actually were inside. It's like, come on, no. You don't live here. It's not a matter of me thinking like that he doesn't live here. It's my landlord is confirmed this guy does not live here. Call the police. That is what my landlord actually told me. My landlord actually freaked out when she got my message and said, "This guy doesn't live here. Call the police next time he shows up." It's like, damn. Definitely this guy does not live here. There's 100% landlord has confirmed that it's not just me being, I have no problem with anyone. I base my beliefs on the Constitution and everyone's treated equal. And I actually, one of the people that I actually really admire is Martin Luther King. And one of the things he has actually said was, judge men on their actions, not the color of their skin. And that's really what I do. I judge people on their actions, and this guy's actions is creepy pedophiles. Is a little bit of a peeping Tom. So peeping Tom on children. It's like, no, come on, you're peeping on children. Definitely, you are. That's some very bad actions. Threatening people with a pipe. Breaking and entering, that's bad person. So that's why I'm kind of like at this point where I'm like, this guy is definitely, this guy's definitely belongs in jail. Like he's an habitual offender. He's in and out of jail. They've actually been able to charge him on several charges, and he has several pending cases right now. Like, are you serious? Like, this guy's definitely going back to jail. And in the state of California, they have bail reform. So basically what that means is he gets to basically commit crimes and walk. There's also something called the 3 strike rule. Well, I can count basically 10 crimes that he's committed in the 2 times that he's been in my apartment complex. I can count 10 crimes that I know are crimes. Peeping Tom, that's a crime. Breaking and entering, that's a crime. I got him on 4 different accounts of breaking and entering. Harassment. I mean, I can keep going. I mean, there's a long list of what he's doing. Breaking and entering with intent. He had a metal pipe. And that's what it comes down to. And, what it comes down to is this guy is definitely not right in the head. He's breaking into obviously empty apartments, and he is committing large amounts of crimes. Like this guy is, in the 2 times he's been in my apartment complex, he's broken like 10 laws. In the 2 times he's been in my apartment complex, he's broken 10 laws. He's committed 10 separate crimes. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's the kind of person that's just basically in and out of jail all the time. And the fact that I was so easily able to find out, like, so much about this guy, this says that he has a huge reputation of this, let's just say tomfuckery, yeah. Huge reputation of this. Oh my god. I'm not gonna post a picture of him online because I don't want people, the Hells Angels are already gonna do a number on him. I don't want people going after him as well. I don't want people trying to track down his family. I don't want people doing that because it seems like his family's trying to get away from him as well. That's something that's interesting. So that's something that's interesting. So like his own daughters have restraining orders on him. Like there's restraining orders from his own daughter. Like both of his daughters. He has 2 daughters, and they both have restraining orders on him. That's a sign of a very, very bad person. Oh my god. When I found that one out, the way I found that out is I spoke to someone that has given me good, reliable information before, and basically he actually spoke to his children, and his children actually addressed him, and mainly because their dad was talking a lot of shit about him, and so they went and talked to him, and they were actually trying to get information to further enforce a restraining order. And I was like, oh, that's actually interesting. So they were actually trying to dig up information on him to get more of a restraining order, to further enforce a restraining order. And he basically didn't want anything to do with it, but they gave him a small explanation before he denied them anything to do with it. But essentially, I think he should have, because this guy's definitely dangerous. He's definitely a creep, and there's no saying how far he'll go. Anytime I've seen him, he's had a blunt object in his hand. I don't know what he's capable of, and it is something that's worrying, and he has actually gone to jail for physically harming people with intention of doing so. So this guy, also I later found out, earlier tonight I found out this guy's been going around bad-mouthing me because I basically have been questioning him so much, and so have all my other neighbors. I don't know why he's singling me out. But he's been harassing the crap out of me long before this, so that's something I'll probably talk more about that later. But this guy's off his rocker, man. I mean, this guy is so far out there, and I'm sorry this story's a little all over the place, but I mean, previously he said he moved into an apartment on the ground floor that was actually under maintenance, that someone just moved out of. Then he said he just moved in and is fully moved into another apartment and still had his previous apartment. That doesn't sound right. That sounds weird, and that's not a normal thing to do. And then he actually previously told me a long time ago that he's actually on a fixed income. So how do you afford 2 apartments on a fixed income, first off, when you can barely afford groceries? That's what he told me. And now suddenly he's a baller that has 2 studio apartments. That makes no sense to me. And why would you rent 2 apartments in the first place? At that point, get a damn mortgage. Get a house. Seriously. Um, that home equity, that's good thing. Get a house, get some of that home equity. But again, he was lying. He doesn't have a studio in my apartment complex. My landlord has confirmed that, but he said he fully moved in, and I later confirmed that later tonight I confirmed that the person that has been living there for a while is still living there. That they did not move out, because I saw them leaving their apartments. A nice couple, actually, very friendly. They left their apartments, and he did not live. He did not. He is not living there. Not at all. So yeah, no. This couple that moved in, no relation to him. No idea that he was actually hanging around outside their apartment. But they were a little bit concerned about him as well, and they've seen him before, and he's harassed them as before as well. And they gave a spitting image description of him as like, "Yep, he's out of jail again." That's pretty much everyone's response to him is, "Yep, he's out of jail again." And that's kind of like, what the hell, because that's like everyone's response to this guy is he's out of jail again. Like, that kind of says a lot about a person. So I guess I'm gonna end this one off because, oh my god, it's almost a 30-minute video. But I'll leave the description again. I'll leave the description for the first video. This guy is a little bit off his rocker, but this has been a kind of a roller coaster every time this guy comes along, and so I definitely need to get a picture of this guy to get to the police and stuff, because I'm sure they're gonna recognize him right away. They are definitely, because he's had enough encounters with the police for them to recognize him right away. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll put a description. I'll put in a link of the video for the first part. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. And again, enjoy, like, subscribe, Campfire Stories.